I personally would absolutely be punished for my feelings and emotions when it comes to stuff like this, probably especially stuff like this. But I chose a different path, let's say. And because of this, I see the ugliness of it to its extent, but I also see the beauty of it to the very same extent. And I can put one in, one foot out if I want to, or go in and out of it like a magician, I guess. And voila.
Poof, like Houdini.
Like
Yeah, that's a very good sentiment. I like that a lot, Circus. And I'm sure a lot of people who might be listening might like really resonate with that. You know, and I
I sure as hell hope so.
even I resonate with that a little bit because I'm also not typical when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Even though I'm probably more typical than you, but I think everyone needs to hear that, and especially around this time period, like when some people might be feeling very lonely or feeling like they're like not because society's telling everybody that they need to be in a relationship in order to be happy, especially around Valentine's Day. Or it might feel like, oh, I'm the only one, who's like feeling left out because I can't partake in all the little things, the events and stuff. Um which is why
Oh,
yeah, which is
I have
why
something very specific to that.
yeah, I know. Which is why I'm, making this episode for those types of people, and also for those people who are also enjoying in partaking in like this stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with people who are in relationships. My advice is don't, even though you're not in one, don't be bitter about it. Uh, you know, um, what was I gonna say? I do want to talk about, I guess, like my experiences, I guess, in like, I guess the romantic sense. But before that, I guess, do you have any lasting thoughts on that you want to speak on, Circus?
If you're feeling lonely regularly, especially if you're a man, I would advise, even though I probably should tell people not to listen to me, but I would advise to check on yourself, to make sure that what you're actually feeling is loneliness. Because it could be a lot of other things. And
Yeah.
I don't mean things like depression or anxiety. I mean other things like you have a self doubt or you don't have a certain hobby that you do. And I mean a real hobby. No, not like in terms of like no true Scotsman's fallacy real hobby, but you know, for me, video games are a hobby and I can play video games to no end and I'm very good at them. But that's different than, let's say, working out or playing a sport where you are beholden or you have certain expectations that come with your team members. Because if you are part of like a local, let's say, soccer group, and then even if you're like in your mid to late 30s, even 40s, and you have like even like a company soccer group, and your team members expect you to be at a certain health level, and you have to speak to them and commune with them regularly, I can almost promise you that those feelings of loneliness are going to go away. If
Yeah.
you have that and you're still feeling lonely, you might want to reach out and talk to somebody or something else is going on because it took me a long time to know this. Generally speaking, that's not normal.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're the problem or anything like that, especially if you're being honest with yourself. But understand that in terms of emotional regulation, that might actually be more what's going on. The lack of ability to have emotional regulation. Because feeling lonely or loneliness is not a state of being. It is a feeling, it is an emotion.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
just putting that out there.
That is very good. I also agree with that. Um, I guess my 2 cents would be, um, it's very important to have a hobby or things in general that you are responsible for or accountable to, because for a lot of people, sometimes when you're feeling lonely or loneliness as like that feels all consuming, as like feeling as if nobody in the world would even notice you were gone type of feeling, like that kind of lonely. I felt that kind of lonely. um Sometimes it's good to have ties to the world or ties to something that keeps you going. So sometimes being accountable and having responsibility might be the thing you need, because then you feel like you're of use. You feel like, and then And then from there, people will like, because you're someone that you're doing things where people are counting on you, and you're being held to a certain standard, and people will notice you, people will see you, people will ask things of you. And then you'll start to feel as though, you know, your existence matters, that you do exist, that there is, a witness to your life. That is a very important thing, when it comes to that kind of feeling. And that's my advice. Circus gave his, and that would be my advice to that kind of situation. The hobby that gives you responsibilities or accountability, you know, because maybe through that you can find purpose or meaning. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
to those of you who are like me, let's just say it from a logical perspective. If you have any idea that you could, disappear and no one would know that you disappeared, there's no going around it. In order for you not to have that, you have to talk to some people. You have to have someone that matters something to you, because you can't
yeah.
expect to be noticed or to disappear for someone to notice if there's no one that is there to notice you in the first place,
If
whether it's
you
a brother, whether it's a cousin, whether it's a
Yeah,
your fellow like
you have to live.
basketball player. I don't know.
In order for people to know that you exist, you have to enter society. You have to be tied to society. As much as we all hate, I guess we can all critique society.
Yeah,
As much as we all hate and critique society, community is something we all want and need. Connections, everything is everything to human beings and to humanity. It's what we're wired for is connection. You know, and that's why we love. That's why we love each other. That's why we take care of each other in so many ways. As much as we also destroy, we also live to connect. And that's very important.